guys, welcome back to Self Study YouTube channel. This video lecture is for 10th standard SSC board students. Today's topic is history and we are studying lesson number 1, historiography, development in West. Now we have covered introduction part. We have covered 1.1, which was tradition of historiography in part 1 and 2 respectively, and now this is part 3, which we are going to deal with the modern historiography, the historiography which we are using today. So there are 4 main characteristics of modern historiography, so let us start with them. If you haven't watched that video, first check them and then come back over here. Okay, so let's get started. So if 1.1 modern historiography, 4 main characteristics of modern historiography. Now let us move. Okay, so the first method over here, which is stated, is its method is based on scientific principle. It begins with the formation of relevant questions. Now this method is based on scientific principle. Anything relating to historical research, or if we have to examine the historical research, we are checking it or scrutinizing it on the basis of scientific principles, because we do not believe in divine phenomena. That is in the next part, or in this next point I'll explain that over there. So we are studying things scientifically. We are not just imagining things. So the main thing is we are not imagining, we are studying it, researching upon it in the with the help of scientific principle, and no imaginations and no just assumptions are put. So with the help of science and scientific principle, we are judging or studying or researching the modern historiography. So this is the main principle, the first main principle of modern historiography, and it begins with formation of relevant questions. So I told you earlier in the research of a historical method that questions in opposition are formed, and if the questions are like satisfying the things, then you should conclude your things. Okay, so this is to begin with. It begins with the formation of relevant questions. So questions are put forward, and if it is satisfying, then it is okay. If it is not, then it is not okay. So like this. Next is the second point, this one, and it says that these questions are anthropocentric. Anthropocentric means study of human life relating to mankind is anthropocentric, anything dealing with mankind. Okay, so the questions are upon the human deeds, human things, human mankind, human ideology, everything is related to humans. So the questions are also based upon this. So these questions are anthropocentric. Next, it means that these questions are about the deeds of the members of ancient human society of a particular period, the things they did, and it is related with the members of ancient human, the past society humans, and that particular period. So their deeds, the questions are based upon that. Now history does not suggest any interrelation between the divine and human deeds. Divine and human deeds means that divine means God phenomena, means because of God this happens, because human did this, because of the human deeds God became sad and then he cursed or nothing. So God phenomena, divine phenomena is not used, or divine things and human deeds are not interconnected with each other. So divine and so in modern historiography, there is no connection, no interrelation, or no one suggests anything which is interrelating between divine and human deeds. So I hope you got this. So anything which is related to God is called divine. The God phenomena is divine, and divine is not equal to human deeds. So because of human deeds, God cursed and then the flood came or anything because of God. It's not in modern historiography, it is not considered or not at all suggested. So humans, so the questions are anthropocentric. Anything happened, it is because of human being, and their deeds and divine is not interconnected. So now let us move ahead with the third and fourth main characteristics of modern historiography. So there are four. First one, which we have studied earlier, which was it is based upon scientific method. It begins with formation of relevant question. And second, we have seen that these questions are anthropocentric and there is no interconnection, interrelation between divine and human deeds. Now the third one which we are going to study is this. Answers to these questions are supported by reliable evidence. So proof is needed. If you are answering the question in the second we questioned, like, right, the questions were anthropocentric, which were related to mankind. So the question which we asked, the answers to that question should be supported by reliable evidence, means proof. On what basis, or what is the proof that you are answering this question and and your answer is right. So you have to present a proof, you have to get a proof to answer these questions, and therefore it should be supported by reliable evidence. Let us move ahead. Fourth one, history presents a graph of mankind's journey with the help of past human deeds. Now history presents a graph. Okay, there is a graph, and what does this mean? It is of mankind with the help of human deeds, means evolution. Man, how did they evolve, how was their past life, and so mankind's journey is nothing but the evolution, how they with the past human did. So history presents a graph on it. Okay, now these were the four principles which we have studied: first, second, third and fourth. The fourth, and these characteristics, not principles, characteristics ends here till the human deeds. Now over here there is another paragraph given about a great scientist and his discoveries, which is Herodotus, who is also known as father of history. So let us study about this. It is said that the modern historiography with the above characteristics, means these four above characteristics, has its roots in the ancient Greek historical writings. Means the modern historiography has its roots in Greek histories. Now what do you mean by roots? Means the most of the startings or main things, anything, evidences and everything is on the it's in ancient Greek historical writings it is mentioned. Okay, next is history is originally a Greek term. History itself is a Greek term, therefore the roots, the main things over there are the roots are over in the Greece or the Greek historical writings. So history itself is a Greek word. Now Herodotus, the Greek historian of 5th century. Of which century? 5th century. Who was Herodotus? Herodotus is also known as father of history. Now what he did in 5th century BCE, he used it first for his book. The term history he used for the first time in his book, which was entitled as the Histories. In his book, the Histories, he mentioned the word history for the first time in 5th century BCE. So Herodotus is known as the father of history. I hope everything is clear with you guys, the four characteristics as well as this paragraph. Next we are going to study about the development of scientific perspective in Europe and historiography. So this video ends here, and 1.3 is the part 4 of this lesson. So till then, keep watching, keep learning. Thank you.